Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Jen and I'm really glad you're here. Today I'm going to be doing some gel printing on my gel plate. You can see it there. It's an 8 by 10 inch gel plate and it's just mounted on a piece of plexiglass to give it some stability. My plate and my plexiglass are quite dirty, but that just means I've used it a lot. So to start, I'm rolling out a very thin layer of yellow paint on my gel plate there. In this video, I'm going to be using my Funky Flower Stencils and masks. I'll point out which ones each of them are as we go along. So this first up is a stencil. This is a stencil of Funky Flower 47, I believe. So I'm using, I think, a piece of medical exam paper to pick that up. Medical exam paper is nice because it's super cheap. It's super thin, and when you use it in collage, it's so thin that you can sort of disappear it right into the background. So it's great for adding elements where you want a little bit of transparency. So picking up the stencil, I'm going to pick up that second print there. This time I'm using just a piece of brown paper. I think this is actually a paper roll from Home Depot, believe it or not. And pulling up the print. Using more of that, I believe it's Naples Yellow. Most of the paints that I use are Liquitex Basics. I find that it's a good, consistent brand and works really well for gel printing. So these masks, again, are Funky Flower 47. I've just cut them out of a couple different colors of the material here. And this one is Funky Flower 42 and Funky Flower 45. And on the bottom there, we have number 58 and number 33. All of my stencils are available as digital SVG files on my website. So if you have a cutting machine, like a Silhouette or a Cricut machine, you can download the files and send them to your own cutting machine to get your own stencils. And that way you can actually change the size, cut them out of the material that you like. It's a pretty good way to do it, I think. So pulling off the masks. And using more medical exam paper to pick that up. So what I'm doing here in this video is I'm making collage material to use in my journals and mixed media artwork. So if things like that happen where I rip the paper, it's not really a big deal because that's not the finished product. Okay, looks like we're moving to red. Again, rolling out a nice thin layer. And so these are the stencil versions of a few of the flowers I just used. That's Funky Flower 58 on the right. On the top is number 42. And on the bottom left is number 45. So I've just added these to one page to be cut as one file or one go on my stencil cutter. My cutting machine, I should say. It's not just for stencils, but that's what I use it for the majority of the time. Ooh, I like this. And pulling up that stencil. Picking it up with the brown paper again. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this brown paper, though. We'll see. Brown is a weird color for flowers too, so, you know. Pulling out a nice thin layer as always, trying to get rid of those briar lines by going extra light. These ones are cut quite large. This is Funky Flower 55. And I'm using a texture plate that I made before with hot glue just to give that background some texture. And printing on top of a page I've already printed over. So we'll see what happens here. Pulling it up. I love the texture in that one. The colors are nice too. Okay, taking the masks off. Using that medical paper again. This stuff is super cheap. You can get it on Amazon. It just comes in a roll. I tend to cut it to gel plate size before I use it because that way I'm not fighting with the paper when I am printing. Ooh, nice print. Those will be great in my journal. So I have a free stencil available. The link is in the description below. It's a great way to test it out and see how my setup works, how to get the file, download the file, and cut it on your cutting machine to see if it's something that you would be interested in doing. I really like this color. It's super opaque, super rich, thick. Okay, we're going with those ones again. That's still number 55. And that one's number 47. And the little guy here is 45, and the one on the top is 57. Oh, I'm going a little nuts here. That one's number 58. Printing over top of a pre-printed page. Those pages are often things I wasn't happy with the first time around, or sometimes they're brayer pages, pickup sheets, that sort of thing. That's super bright. Okay, taking off the masks. Nope, I'm gonna pick up another piece with that medical exam paper, see if I can get more paint off that plate. Oh, this is interesting. This will be interesting for collage too. Much more subtle effect. Taking off the masks now. There we go. I think this will be more of a kind of a background portion of the collage papers that I make. Because if your masks go off the edge of the gel plate, that means you don't have a full image to work with, which is fine, but something to keep in mind when you're printing. Okay, this is Winsor & Newton paint. This is the light olive, I believe. This is another one of my favorite colors that I've just recently discovered. It's very opaque, but it works really great for pickup prints. And I just love the color on that. Burnishing with my hands, trying to make sure I've got a nice contact between the paint and the paper and the plate. And pulling the print. So that's mostly a pickup print to clean my plate, but it's got some great image and great texture on that. So that'll be really fun to incorporate into my work.